I'm keeping it real, keeping it very fluid and going to be very transparent. It is Monday and I love to go live on a Monday and come in and share with you what's going on in my world, what's going on in my life. And up until this point and for the last 3 months, it's been called the happy hour. And I'm changing it to something new. However, in the complete energy of authenticity and transparency. I don't know what I'm going to call it yet. It hasn't come to me yet. So I still have something to share, but I haven't got a title for this new hour. But I wanted to come in and share with you something that I've been working on and something that I thought might be really interesting for all of you. And also to remind you of a couple of things. Firstly, that the July offers, it's the final few hours of a buy one, gift one free for my human design packages that were launched this month. And then also, for those of you who've been following, you'll know that the next Life Lab is all about mindfulness and how I've used mindfulness for my mental health, for menopause, for manifestation, for motivation, for leadership, for so much in my life. It's been an absolute foundational pillar in my healing and in my growth and in the way that I live and love my life and carry out my life with absolute intention. So it's a couple of those things to talk about. But first of all, in light of my own personal latest shifts in where I'm taking my business and my brand, which has really been anchored in this last 3 months, which is really all about this evolution of self. It's all about the reinvention of self. It's all about this transcendence and transition and using real human, practical, tangible strategies in your life, but making it absolutely magical and beautiful by coupling it with this spiritual connection, with this deeper seating of inner knowing and connection with something bigger than yourself. So that is what this is what I'm all about, connecting the human strategies and also the spiritual and soulful connection to make your life magical, to help you live and love your life, but also to help you keep on transitioning and moving through life and growing and loving all of it. So with that in mind, what I wanted to share with you, or the topic I wanted to bring to the table today, is really this idea of authentic shifting. How can you authentically shift? And something that I keep hearing out here on the internet and in conversations is very much about this authenticity. It's about being true to yourself, understanding who you are, rather than trying to be something that you're not, which can be completely exhausting and lead to burnout. But also this shift. So many people I speak to are in a place where they no longer want to be, and they want to move and they want to be somewhere different, but they don't know how to make that first move. So that's really what I'm coming in to talk to you about today. How do you make those moves, and how do you make them authentically so that they feel good to you, so they feel true to who you are and also where you want to go? So let's talk authentic shifting. If I look back at my journey, I feel that I have made some of the biggest and the boldest moves when I have actually been very, very true to me. And I want to take you right back to 2016, 2017, when I'd had those diagnoses of PTSD and clinical depression and eating disorders and insomnia and this whole plethora of mental health issues. And I knew that I didn't want to be here. I knew I wanted to heal and I knew I wanted to move. And I had this belief that it would get better. But I really wanted to do it in an authentic way. I had been living my life perhaps inauthentically, trying to people please, trying to do what everybody else wanted me to do. But it was in this awareness of I want to do it my way and that feels good to me, is when I started really recognizing the power of mindfulness. And I started doing it very, very intuitively, very instinctively. Then I got very interested and I've read books, I took programs, and then I took a qualification in order to be able to teach it. And it was through that and the embodiment and of living it, I love to share it with all of my clients and bring it all into all of my programs, and the way in which I coach and the way in which I mentor from this place of embodiment and understanding for actually me. And it was mindfulness in its purest form that really helped me unlock my authenticity. Really, really cleared this path to unlocking who I was and who I wanted to be as I moved from where I was to where I wanted to go. And then more recently, in the last 18 months, I've been introduced to a tool called human design. And human design was the tool that helped me really, really deepen this understanding of awareness and mindfulness. So where I started in mindfulness was this awareness center. It was this real awareness of what I was thinking and what was going on in my mind. If you listen to the word, it's mindfulness. And this to me was very much if you can understand what it means, is in its simplest form, is just really understanding what is my mind full of? What are my thoughts? What am I thinking? How am I feeling? And at the time, through this process back in 2017, I was looking at myself and saying, what is going on in my head? I had been so unaware. I'd just been going on through life without really thinking about or being aware of how or why I was doing the things that I was doing. And this breakdown, I suppose, in myself with these big mental health diagnoses made me get very much more aware of what was going on in my head. What was I thinking? What were my beliefs? How was I feeling in my body? How was I behaving based on those thoughts, based on those feelings? I recognized that my mind was full of judgment. It was full of comparison. I was always looking outside of myself rather than from within myself. I was very self-critical. I was very, very judgmental of myself. I was very judgmental of others. And when I started to become aware of this, and it was actually here, well, I'm down here in Cornwall at the moment, it was actually here in Rock when I did an exercise. It just said, start to recognize what's going on in your mental chatter and start to make a note of it in your diary. Just start to see what's going on. And I started this first thing in the morning in the bedroom that's just next door. And I started to write down all of the things that were going on in my head, all of the thoughts that popped into my head. And literally after 10 minutes, I had a whole page of real self-criticism. And I was like, wow, just bringing this lens of what was going on in my head enabled me to see what was going on. So no wonder I didn't want to get up. No wonder I didn't want to get dressed, because I was just so self-deprecating and hating of myself and full of self-loathing. And I just felt really sad for myself. Gosh, I've got to change. And so it was this whole mindfulness that brought the awareness to what was going on. And then as I learned more about mindfulness, it was really about bringing this level of acceptance to it. It was about letting go of this judgment. It was allowing myself to have some compassion for myself, because I had this was the first time I was aware of it. So how did I not know? So it was just this beautiful compassion towards myself, because now I knew I could do something about it, but there was no point in beating myself up for what it had been, because I didn't know any different. So from this awareness and from also this acceptance, I was able to start to move forward and take aligned action. I aligned myself with where I wanted to go, how I wanted to feel, by changing some of the thoughts that were going on in my head. I became very mindful of what I was thinking. I became very mindful of how those thoughts were influencing my behaviours and how I was feeling. And then I could take more aligned action with where I wanted to go and what I wanted to do. And it was a much more authentic, aligned action from this point. So mindfulness kick-started my awareness of what was going on in my mind and then how I was behaving. But it was human design this time last year. It was actually just a little bit earlier actually than this time last year, maybe about 16 months ago. I was working with some incredible coaches who gifted me my own human design reading. Human design is a wonderful concept of bringing together so many different energetic and spiritual practices. So from the I Ching to astrology and astronomy and the chakras and so many different things to help you understand your unique energetic DNA, how the energy within your body flows, how you speak to yourself, how everything just, it's just a really, really beautiful, scientifically proven spiritual practice, how you can connect to yourself in a much more deeper way. And when I read and heard this human design, it allowed me a tool to get deeper into this awareness of myself on a much more granular level. So rather than what was just going on in my head, I could start to understand so many different ways and where all my thoughts and my feelings were coming from. And it was so interesting when I saw my human design, I could actually give myself so much more compassion, because I realized that both of my pressure centers are undefined and 2 of my awareness centers are undefined. So in undefined chakras, we absorb so much more of the energies around us, and we often take them on and make them our own. So it was no wonder my mind was full of everybody else's thoughts and beliefs, and I was trying to please them by making them my own and following that, rather than saying, is that my thought? Is that my belief? And working in a different way. Also, when I walked into a room, I could be so bombarded by everybody's feelings that it could feel quite overwhelming for me, that I could become quite antisocial, because I could feel just everybody's emotions and everybody's fears and doubts and worries and everybody's pressures from my open root, from my open spleen, and also my undefined solar plexus. So I was taking all of these energies on and feeling really quite overwhelmed with it. Using this human design tool, I was able to create some boundaries for myself, and also able to use a filtering process on a much more granular level from what was going on in my awareness. So these two things coupled together, mindfulness and human design, have really helped me become a much more authentic version of me. And then by doing so, I've been able to ask myself, well, where is it that I want to go? And then also, how do I want to go there? So I just wanted to explain a little bit more about, I've gone completely off tangent on my notes. I wanted to talk to a little bit more about this human design and why I feel it's so powerful in terms of being able to create filters and boundaries, especially for those of you who are watching this, who are going to a very, very busy period of your life. I know that so many, speaking from experience, the summertime can be quite overwhelming when you have got your children at home, if they've normally been away at school, and you've still got work and you've still got life. But it's about being able to take on and really recognize and ask yourself, is this my thought? Is this my feeling? Is this my doubt? Is this my worry? If you've got complete open centers, knowing this and where you are undefined and open can really help you make the right decisions for who you are and where you want to go. This awareness in your family can hugely help where you want to go as a collective, and how you're going to do it together that makes you all feel really, really good about yourself. And that is the goal, right? So if you have this goal of wanting to be able to move authentically, if you want to feel good, to move in a way that feels good, and isn't that the ultimate goal, to live life and feel good, to love it and to live it, and know that the people around you are loving and living their life as well? That to me has been my ultimate goal. And if this is yours, then I'd love to help you do that on a much, much deeper level, so that you can make those moves that feel in alignment to yourself, that feel really, really good for you. And it starts with the mindfulness piece. It starts with the becoming aware of how you're thinking, how you're feeling, how you're behaving, how you're reacting, how you're responding. And then you can deepen that with the understanding of the human design, because that will show you why you are thinking that way, and then also how you can be different, how you can shift and do it differently, and how you can do it authentically and in alignment with your human design and the way that you were built and how the energies flow within you. So if that's your goal, if you want to move authentically, if you want to shift from where you are and you don't know where it is that you want to go and how you're going to get there, then these two key things, I believe, are going to be your best friends: mindfulness and an understanding of your human design. So as I said right at the beginning, I've got 2 offers on at the moment that can really, really help you move. So if this is something that you really want to do, you can jump into the next Life Lab. So next month's Life Lab, for those of you who don't know, Life Labs are life support sessions. They're masterclasses that I run every single month on a particular area or topic or challenge. And this month, it's all about mindfulness. I'm going to be sharing with you all of my tools, all of my practices, everything that I have used and embodied and tried and tested, not only with myself, but also all of my clients over the last 5 years, because mindfulness has been such a passion project of mine and something that I've really helped so many people embrace so that they can have their own shifts and authentic moves. So mindfulness is going to be the Life Lab on Friday. This week, Friday the 4th, I think it's Friday the 4th of August, is going to be landing at 11 o'clock. It's a pre-recorded masterclass that will come into your inboxes. You can get that for lifetime access for £55 if you desire it. Or if you just want to try it before you buy it, then you can get it for absolutely free, because I believe that mindfulness is one of the key life-changing tools that you can have, and especially if you want to do these authentic shifting. So you can get this Mindfulness Life Lab for free if you, for 24 hours. Sorry, I'm a bit tongue-tied today. If you want to get hold of this Life Lab, then you can use the link in my bio and you can access to register for free and get it for 48 hours for free and watch it as many times as you like in that 48 hours. If you want to buy it and have lifetime access to not only the 90-minute masterclass, but also the workbooks, then you can just invest in that and use the links on my website, which I will put also in my bio. You can get that for £55 as well, and really understand how you can use mindfulness not only for your mental health, in order to manifest, in order to motivate yourself for the menopause. I've used it for so many things. I've got a whole long list of all the things that I've used it for. You can grab that. If you want to have a better understanding of your human design, perhaps you've already really nailed the mindfulness piece. If you want to take this to a new level, and if you want to become more mindful about every single part of your energy that's flowing through your body, through understanding your human design and all of the chakras and all the energetic centers within your body, how they flow through your body, how you can manifest more, how you can live more, move more, feel better, more authentically, then human design is a new offer that I launched in July. It's something that I love, and it's something particularly that I love to help you apply for your life, but also in your relationships, in your partnerships, in your families. And my offer is called Living and Loving with Human Design, so that you can live and love in alignment with your human design and your energetic DNA. And I have an offer on for July, which was buy one and gift one. So one of the lovely things that I've been doing throughout July for people who have bought a package of human design is that they've been able to buy one for themselves and then gift one, perhaps to a family member, or perhaps to a partner, or even to somebody that they work with, so that they can understand the dynamics of their energies working together and harmonize, so that they can work together with a deeper understanding of how they're meant to be, how they're meant to think, how they like to work. It's been absolutely beautiful. Today, I have just completed a family human design. Somebody who has requested a human design for themselves and then gifted one to her eldest daughter. And then she's also then just gone on and bought one for another daughter and gifted one to her youngest daughter. So I've just done a reading for a mother and her 3 daughters to help her understand how all of her teenage girls are living and how she can support them with their thinking, with their feelings, with their emotions. It's just beautiful. And she's got 1 projector and 2 generators, and she's a projector herself. So they've all got very, very different energies and different ways of thinking and making decisions. And just giving her some guidance is just wonderful to see how this is working for her. So I'm whittling on a little bit now, but I just wanted to bring that to you, to offer this up for you. If you want to move authentically, it starts with mindfulness. It will unlock your authenticity. And then you can use human design to deepen that on a much, much granular level and make shifts and moves from a place of absolute true alignment and true empowerment of yourself. Hope you found this interesting today. If you want to know more on either, please do get in touch with me. Just drop me a DM. I hope you have a wonderful day. It's finally stopped raining here down in Cornwall, so I am off to a very soggy beach. Lots of love.